I am Elijah, a voice crying out in the wilderness, a servant of the living God. In a land where false idols held sway, I stood alone, challenging the prophets of Baal. The sky was brass, the earth parched. For 3 years, not a drop of rain fell. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. I called to the people, challenging them to choose their path. On Mount Carmel, we prepared our altars. The prophets of Baal danced and cried out, but their God was silent. I drenched my altar with water, a seemingly foolish act in a time of drought. But I knew the power of the one I served. I prayed and fire fell from heaven.
The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God.
Victory was mine, or so I thought. But even as I triumphed, fear gripped my heart. Jezebel's wrath pursued me into the wilderness. I, who had called down fire from heaven, now ran for my life. It is enough, O Lord, take my life. In the desert, beneath a broom tree, I prayed for death. But God had other plans. He sent His angel to nourish me, to prepare me for the journey ahead. "40 days and nights I traveled, until I reached Mount Horeb, the mountain of God. There in a cave, I awaited His presence. 'What are you doing here, Elijah?' He asked. A great wind tore the mountains and shattered the rocks, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind came an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of sheer silence, a still, small voice. In that moment of quiet, I heard God more clearly than ever before. I understood then. God's power isn't always in the spectacle, but in the whisper of a gentle breeze. Renewed in spirit, I descended the mountain, ready to continue my work. God led me to Elisha, the one who would carry on after me. As I mentored Elisha, I realized that our legacy is not in the miracles we perform, but in the lives we touch. The years passed, and I knew my time was drawing to a close. As Elisha and I walked, a chariot of fire appeared, with horses of fire. I was taken up in a whirlwind into heaven, but not before Elisha asked for a double portion of my spirit. Even now, as I look back on my life, I am in awe of God's plan. From the depths of despair to the heights of glory, He was always with me. I am Elijah, a prophet of the Most High, forever changed by the still small voice of God. And my story continues, for it is written that I will return before the great and terrible day of the Lord. Until then, I leave you with this. Listen for God's voice in the quiet moments, for it is there in the stillness that you may find your greatest strength and purpose.